What's up, Wrestlingverse family? Welcome back to the channel. And before we dive into today's absolutely shocking news, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell because the wrestling world just got turned completely upside down, and you need to stay updated with everything that's happening. Today, we have some news that has sent shockwaves throughout the entire WWE universe. I'm talking about a story that involves one of the most legendary women in wrestling history, a brutal attack that crossed every line, and a decision from Triple H that nobody saw coming. This is going to be intense, so buckle up. We're talking about Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, and the shocking announcement that Triple H has fired her following a brutal attack on Rhea Ripley. Yes, you heard that right. One of the most decorated women in WWE history has been terminated, and the wrestling world is absolutely reeling. Let's break down everything that happened. Alright, Wrestlingverse family, let's get into the details of this incredible story. For those who might have missed what happened, let me catch you up on everything that led to this shocking moment. The tension between Asuka and Rhea Ripley had been building for weeks, but nobody, and I mean nobody, expected things to escalate to this level. Rhea Ripley, the dominant force that she is, has been at the top of the women's division for a long time. She's held championship gold, she's defeated the best competitors in the world, and she carries herself like the star that she is. But Asuka, a multi-time champion herself and one of the most dangerous women to ever step in a WWE ring, felt disrespected and overlooked. The rivalry between these two had all the ingredients of a classic feud. You had Rhea's raw power and intimidating presence against Asuka's striking ability and unpredictable nature. Every time they crossed paths, you could feel the tension in the air. The promos were intense, the stare-downs were electric, and everyone knew that when these two finally collided, it was going to be explosive. But what happened went far beyond a normal wrestling rivalry. After their match, which was already incredibly physical and hard-hitting, something inside Asuka snapped. Instead of accepting the result and moving on, she unleashed an attack on Rhea Ripley that can only be described as absolutely brutal and completely out of control. The attack happened after the bell had rung, after the match was officially over. Asuka grabbed a steel chair and began assaulting Rhea with it. Not just one shot, not just two shots, but multiple devastating chair shots that echoed throughout the arena. The crowd was in complete shock. Nobody expected Asuka to lose control like this. But it didn't stop there. Asuka continued the assault, targeting Rhea's injured body parts with precision and malicious intent. She locked in her deadly Asuka lock submission hold, not to win a match, but to inflict maximum damage. Referees and officials rushed to the ring trying to pull Asuka off, but she was completely possessed with rage and wouldn't let go. Security had to get involved to finally separate Asuka from Rhea. It took multiple security personnel to restrain the Empress of Tomorrow. The look in Asuka's eyes was something we've never seen before. This wasn't the fun-loving, colorful Asuka that fans had grown to love. This was someone who had completely crossed the line and lost all control. The medical staff immediately attended to Rhea Ripley, who was left lying in the ring, hurt and unable to move under her own power. The severity of the attack became clear as paramedics brought out a stretcher. Rhea had to be stretchered out of the arena, and the WWE Universe watched in horror as one of their favorite superstars was taken away in an ambulance. Backstage, the situation was chaotic. Wrestlers were talking about what they had just witnessed. Some were in disbelief, others were angry, and everyone was concerned about Rhea's condition. The locker room was buzzing with reactions, and it was clear that what Asuka had done had crossed every boundary of professional wrestling. Triple H, the chief content officer of WWE and the man in charge of talent relations, was immediately informed of the situation. As someone who has been in this business for decades, Triple H understands the difference between a wrestling angle and something that goes too far. What Asuka did wasn't just part of a storyline, it was a legitimate assault that put another performer in danger. The next day, Triple H called an emergency meeting with Asuka. Reports from backstage sources indicate that the meeting was tense and serious. Triple H made it clear that while intensity and physicality are part of professional wrestling, there are lines that cannot be crossed. Deliberately injuring another performer and continuing an attack after the match is over is completely unacceptable. Asuka was given a chance to explain her actions, to apologize, and to make things right. But according to sources, Asuka showed no remorse for what she had done. She felt justified in her actions, claiming that Rhea had disrespected her legacy and that she deserved what happened. This attitude only made the situation worse. Triple H, known for being firm but fair, had to make an incredibly difficult decision. Asuka is a legend, a future Hall of Famer, someone who has given years of incredible service to WWE. But the safety of WWE superstars has to come first. No matter how talented or legendary a performer is, they cannot be allowed to deliberately injure their colleagues. And so, in a move that shocked the entire wrestling world, Triple H made the announcement that Asuka's contract with WWE has been terminated effective immediately. The Empress of Tomorrow has been fired. One of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time is no longer a part of WWE, and the decision has sent ripples throughout the entire industry. The wrestling community has been absolutely buzzing with reactions since this news broke. Social media has exploded with opinions, debates, and discussions about whether this decision was right or if it was too harsh. Some fans support Triple H's decision, saying that safety must always come first and that Asuka crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. Other fans are devastated, arguing that Asuka is too important to WWE history to be let go like this. They point to her incredible matches, her championship reigns, her contributions to the women's revolution, and her status as one of the most talented performers in the world. They believe WWE should have found another way to handle the situation. Fellow WWE superstars have also been sharing their thoughts. Many have expressed shock and sadness at seeing a legend like Asuka leave WWE under such circumstances. Some have shared memories of working with her, praising her talent and professionalism over the years. Others have stayed silent, perhaps not wanting to get involved in such a controversial situation. Rhea Ripley herself released a statement about the attack and its aftermath. While expressing disappointment in how things ended with Asuka, Rhea made it clear that she doesn't wish ill on anyone. She acknowledged Asuka's incredible career but also stated that the attack crossed a line and that actions have consequences. Rhea also thanked the WWE Universe for their support during her recovery. Let's take a moment to appreciate who Asuka is and what she's accomplished in WWE. The Empress of Tomorrow came to WWE with an incredible reputation from her time in Japan. She brought a unique style, incredible striking ability, and a presence that immediately set her apart from everyone else in the women's division. Asuka's undefeated streak in NXT is the stuff of legend. She went undefeated for over 900 days, defeating every single woman put in front of her. She won the NXT Women's Championship and elevated it to new heights. Her matches against Ember Moon, Bayley, and others are considered all-time classics in women's wrestling. When she moved to the main roster, Asuka continued to dominate. She won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, she became Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, and Women's Tag Team Champion. Her resume is absolutely stacked with accomplishments that very few can match. Beyond the championships, Asuka has been part of some of the most memorable moments in WWE history. Her matches against Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and yes, Rhea Ripley, have been incredible. She's shown the ability to work any style, tell any story, and connect with audiences in a way that transcends language barriers. Her character work has been exceptional. Whether playing a dominant, unstoppable force or adding comedic elements to her personality, Asuka has always been entertaining. Her partnership with Kairi Sane as the Kabuki Warriors was fantastic. Her friendship with Alexa Bliss showed a different side of her character. She's been versatile and creative throughout her entire WWE run. But now, all of that history, all of those accomplishments, all of those memories have been overshadowed by one moment of losing control. That's the tragedy of this situation. Asuka's legacy in WWE will forever be marked by how it ended, and that's heartbreaking for fans who have followed her incredible journey. The question on everyone's mind now is, what's next for Asuka? Being fired from WWE doesn't mean her wrestling career is over. She's still one of the most talented performers in the world, and there are other promotions that would absolutely be interested in signing her. Could we see Asuka return to Japan? Might she show up in another major American promotion? The possibilities are intriguing. For WWE, this creates a significant gap in the women's division. Asuka was a consistent main event level performer who could be relied upon to deliver great matches and compelling storylines. Losing someone of her caliber will be felt throughout the roster. Other women will need to step up to fill the void left by her departure. This situation also raises questions about where the line is in professional wrestling. Wrestling is supposed to look real while being safe and choreographed. But when does intensity cross into dangerous territory? When does a heated rivalry become too personal? These are questions that WWE and all wrestling promotions constantly have to navigate. Triple H's decision to fire Asuka sends a clear message to the entire WWE roster. There are consequences for actions that endanger other performers. No matter who you are, no matter what you've accomplished, safety comes first. This sets a precedent that could impact how talent behaves going forward. From a business perspective, this is a huge decision. Asuka is a draw, someone who sells merchandise, someone who has fans all over the world. Letting her go means losing revenue and potentially losing some fans who were specifically there to watch her. But Triple H clearly felt that the principle was more important than the profit. The timing of this situation is also significant. WWE is in an interesting period right now with new ownership, new partnerships, and new opportunities on the horizon. Having a stable, professional locker room is crucial for the company's success. Tolerating behavior that endangers talent would set a bad precedent during this important time. For Rhea Ripley, this whole situation has been traumatic but also potentially career-defining. How she handles the recovery, how she responds to the attack, and how she moves forward will shape her character and her legacy. The WWE Universe has rallied around her, showing support and admiration for how she's handled everything. The attack and its aftermath have also created potential storyline opportunities. Will Rhea seek revenge when she returns? Will other wrestlers reference this incident in their own feuds? Will WWE use this as a teaching moment about the importance of sportsmanship and respect? The creative possibilities are numerous. What this situation proves is that actions have consequences, even in the world of professional wrestling. Asuka made a choice to cross a line, and that choice cost her everything. It's a harsh reality, but it's also a necessary one to maintain order and safety in a physical, dangerous profession. The legacy of both women will be impacted by this incident. Asuka's incredible career will always have this dark cloud hanging over it. Rhea's toughness and resilience in the face of a brutal attack will add to her legend. Both women will be remembered for this moment, for better or worse. Looking at the bigger picture, this incident highlights the passion and emotion that makes professional wrestling so compelling. These performers care deeply about their characters, their positions on the card, and their legacies. Sometimes that passion boils over, and when it does, there are real-world consequences. Alright, Wrestling vs. Family, that's the complete breakdown of the shocking news that Triple H has fired Asuka following her brutal attack on Rhea Ripley. This is a story that has stunned the wrestling world and will have ramifications for a long time to come. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Triple H made the right decision? Was firing Asuka too harsh, or was it necessary? What do you think happens next for both Asuka and Rhea Ripley? Let's have a respectful discussion in the comments. If you found this breakdown informative and want to stay updated on all wrestling news, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and reach more wrestling fans. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Wrestling vs. CC and turn on those notifications so you never miss breaking news. Share this video with your wrestling friends so everyone can discuss this incredible situation. Let's get the conversation going across the entire wrestling community. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling vs. Family. This is a developing story, and we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Until next time, stay informed, stay passionate, and keep being the best wrestling community out there. Peace. Hashtag Asuka, hashtag Rhea Ripley, hashtag WWE, hashtag Triple H, hashtag Wrestling News, hashtag WWERAW, hashtag WWE SmackDown, hashtag Wrestling vs. CC, hashtag WWE Universe, hashtag Pro Wrestling, hashtag Empress of Tomorrow, hashtag Wrestling Community, hashtag WWE Fired, hashtag Wrestling Drama, hashtag WWE Controversy, hashtag Wrestling Story, hashtag WWE Breaking News, hashtag Wrestling Analysis, hashtag WWE Superstars, hashtag Wrestling Family.